Hi, everybody. Welcome to another fantastic episode of Sit Downs with City Lifestyle Vegas Edition. I'm Camilla Solea Rae with Red Rock and South Vegas City Lifestyle. And I'm here today in studio with the one and only
Crissie Bown, publisher for Henderson City Lifestyle.
Well, every once in a while, we talk about community marketing, and it's part of a series that we've started to develop last year. And that's what we're going to talk about today. And what is the theme today, Miss Crissie?
Why local magazines are still important in a digital era.
You know what? They're not only important, they are growing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's funny because you hear people will say things like, oh, print is dead. Meanwhile, the City Lifestyle magazines are growing like wildfire across the country.
Yeah, just to give the listener and the viewer a little bit of history.
Yeah.
So City Lifestyle is actually a brand that started 17 years ago in 2009 during the Depression. And and Stephen, his last name is so hard to pronounce, but anyway, he's our president, CEO. Schweigart? I don't know. Anyway.
I was saying, no, don't try it. Don't try it. Just
Yeah. He started with two magazines in Kansas City. It was Johnson County and Leawood County. And now 17 years later, we're over 250 magazines across the country.
It's crazy.
I mean, how is print dead?
Exactly.
If that's happening, right?
Yeah.
But I do, so we've started also giving talks, presentations around the city, Crissie and I, to educate business owners about the importance of community marketing, because that's what we focus on. And in one of the audiences that I was presenting, the question was, but if, so many magazines are ending, how is yours growing? How is yours so successful? And get what my answer was.
What was it?
Because we're all about community.
1,000%.
Right?
That's what these magazines are. Like, not only are we serving our communities by giving people fun ways that they can jump in and get involved, but we're also building community within the magazines as well, with the partners that we're working with and the nonprofits that we're highlighting
and the leaders.
Yeah. And that's really the whole thing. Like, I think, the whole print is dead thing stems from the world we live in, where it's like the Amazon world, instant gratification. People want things like yesterday, But there's something to be said for having a moment to slow down and be able to actually have a moment of peace, Yeah,
and not only that, every medium that we have available to us for marketing, every medium serves a purpose, right? So print exists to tell people's story, to help them be seen, to give the reader, the consumer, the experience of holding the magazine in their hand, flipping, taking their time, pausing, right? Because usually when you're in your phone, you're usually doing something else as well.
1,000%. How many things are we doing when we're sitting there scrolling on our phones? A gazillion.
Either watching TV or cooking or I don't know, crocheting. But when we're have a magazine.
Crocheting. When was the last time you crocheted, Camilla?
Last night.
Did you
Thank
really?
you very much.
Oh, I'm impressed. Okay.
I'm going to make you a blanket.
I will love a blanket. Thank you. I just am sitting here picturing you crocheting. And I
have many talents, friend.
I love that for you. I love it. That's so funny.
And when you have your magazine in your hands, you can't really do anything else because you got to hold it with both hands and flip the pages and just take your time. And we are Harper Local Magazine, so we feature stories about our own community in our backyard.
It's so true. And there really is something to be said about the pause, right? Like, we're distracted when we're on some of these other mediums, even for billboards. And we have billboards for our magazines. Yeah. But you're driving, you're listening to something, you're seeing it. So they still serve a purpose, but it's different versus having a captive audience that we have with these magazines, where it's like you can't read something in front of you and be doing 10 other things at the same time.
Yeah.
And there's been a big resurgence with print with the younger demographic as well. Like the Gen Zers, which are coming up into a stronger buying power, are actually gravitating towards some of these more traditional forms of media, which is too.
Yeah,
and I think people are just fried,
Fried, yes, because you go on Instagram or any social media nowadays, TikTok or whatever, people are just doing the same thing.
Yep.
Different faces, but it's same messages.
Yep.
Same funny, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Or trying to be funny. phrases. I'm like, really? I've seen this like 1,000 times. Can you change, please, the narrative?
Yeah.
Right? And the magazines, because we feature real people, we tell real stories about what's happening in our community. We become a reference for our demographic, which is, the high-end residents here in town.
Which I think is something that both of us take to heart because, when our annual surveys are done, which the annual surveys are done for every print organization, worldwide, one of the pieces of feedback that we get back is that people see the stuff in the magazine as a referral from a friend. And I think you and I have taken that to heart because we don't have to partner with everybody in the magazines, and we don't partner with everybody in the magazines. Like, we want people in our magazines that are going to be give our readers or our partners a good experience.
Right.
And it's important to us because if it is going to be a referral from a friend and we're that friend, then we want to make sure that we have good partners that are going to treat people well and do the right thing and be servants of the community as well.
And not only that, but also have the product and service that meets the standard of our readership, right? Because we are the quality control, really.
It's true.
Right?
Yeah, it is so true. I mean, we sit down with every single person that is in either of our magazines. Like, there's not one partner that you'll see in the magazines that hasn't had an individual conversation with either you or myself. And that's kind of, to your point, the quality control where we're sifting through. And I always ask myself, like, would I use this business? And if the answer is yes, then go for it. And we're not for everyone.
No, we're not.
We serve our magazines are served towards an affluent community. And, I also want to be fair to the businesses and say if they're going after a different target, there's other things that they can do that might be better suited for who they're trying to reach.
And there are other magazines too.
Exactly.
We work with different budgets. Every medium is going to require a certain investment because that's what marketing is, really. It's a long-term investment. And every business is going to have a budget. Every medium is going to require a certain amount of dollars to be able to run that campaign, whatever it is. And so, there has to be so many factors involved for it to be the right fit. It's not about the money.
It's not. And I'm so glad you said that because we come from a standpoint of people over profit every single time.
Yeah.
Like, our entire existence, I think, hinges on the reader's experience and our partner's experience.
Yeah.
And, we're going to put the people over the profit side of our business every single time. I think that's one of our differentiating factors, And there's also something about print that it establishes a level of credibility.
Oh, for sure.
That, when people see somebody in one of our magazines, there's an element of trust and credibility that's built from being in there.
Yeah, well, we've been in the market, with Red Rock 5.5 years.
Yeah.
Henderson is going to turn 5 this year. South Vegas turned 4. I mean, for these businesses, because each is their own individual little industry, right?
Yeah.
Little company. I mean, it's not like it's a huge feat to be in business for so long and build a reputation in town, right?
It is.
So we have to sift and sort through who we partner with, to your point. And Vegas is such a transient town, right? That we want to make sure that we are representing business leaders that are part of our community, that intend to stay, that we can see grow, right? And grow with them. It's because it is all about community. And that's why our series is called Community Marketing.
1,000%. And I'm glad you said that because it's interesting. I met with somebody recently who had just moved here, and and I won't share the name, but it was funny because they were saying, like, it seems like business is just done differently in this city.
Yeah, and it is. Like, thank God it is. Yeah.
And I said people want to see consistency here, and you have to understand why. Those of us that have been here for a really long time, like, that have been through the recession and the pandemic and all these things, like, there's a lot of people who have popped in, made a splash, and then bounced.
Left, yeah.
And so I think that from a business perspective, people are looking for those partners that have that longevity, that have been in the market for a long time, that they can know and trust are going to be here 10 years from now, 20 years from now, all those things.
Right, because, as individuals, we want to feel safe.
We want to feel safe, exactly.
And a brand that, you don't know if it's coming or going, doesn't really
feel safe.
Right, exactly.
Exactly. Well, and I think, you and I have said this a million times, but people do business with people, not the brands.
Right.
And so that's the other part of this community marketing piece that comes into play that's so huge.
Yeah.
Is like, one of our favorite things to do is to give our audience a look behind the curtain to the people that are behind some of these brands.
Yeah, humanizing the brand.
Humanizing it, exactly. And showing them, sharing their stories, because everybody has a why. Everybody has a reason for why they're doing what they're doing. And we have some pretty incredible stories here in our community.
Amazing stories.
Of how people came to be where they are and what inspired them to do what they do. And I've just been blown away since I took over Henderson by what's going on in our community. It always amazes me at what people are doing behind the scenes to give back, and the resilience that this community has shown through so many different trying
and
times.
how united it is.
Yes.
Even with me, through the personal things that I've been in the last almost 2 years, I've been showing incredible support.
Yep.
And I was really humbled by how this community comes together to help one another.
It's unbelievable, and something that just gives me such a sense of pride for being able to be part of it, because watching people come together after all these challenging times. This is a community that wants to lift each other up.
Yeah.
And yes, Vegas is growing at a rapid pace right now, and it's getting bigger, but it still has a small town feel.
And how far really can we grow? How big can we get? Because we're surrounded
taking it all the way to Prim.
But we're surrounded by mountains.
It's
really,
true.
we're gonna grow, but we're never gonna be in LA. Right?
Yeah,
we're never gonna be Chicago or New York City or whatever, these huge towns, or Phoenix.
Yeah.
Right. We are still the mentality. So a lot of the marketing that works in other markets doesn't work here.
It's true.
Right. It's another breed.
Well, and I think that people felt so isolated coming out of the pandemic that I think people were just looking for a way to connect.
Yeah.
And even people that maybe weren't necessarily even thinking about connecting with their community before the pandemic, coming out of that, everyone had been so isolated for so long, they were just looking for ways to dive in. And that's really what we're giving them, is hey, here's an organization you may not have heard of, or here's an event that may not have been on your radar, and
or come support X cause with us, because we're sponsoring them. Come sit with us at the table and let's help them raise some funds. Yeah.
And I mean, even the community that we're building from within, I love introducing good people to each other. With all the different components of what we're doing, we're just trying to meet people where they are. And it's been interesting to see, some people are going to be more inclined to pick up the physical magazine. Some people are going to want to watch the content we're producing for social, and some are going to listen to the podcast. And we're literally just trying to meet people where they are.
And we also wrap our strategy with a beautiful bow called exclusive quarterly events.
That's right. This is Camilla's favorite, the parties. So yes, we do. We love having all of our partners in one room, though, and we intentionally bring together the Red Rock, South Vegas, and Henderson clients so that they can meet from all sides of town and ideally do business together and make friends.
Yeah, make friends. Most importantly, right?
Most importantly.
And
absolutely.
We've created a mini chamber.
I know.
The Las Vegas edition City Lifestyle Chamber.
It is. It's our City Lifestyle squad. And I really think we should get hats for all of our people.
No hats, Crissie.
Oh,
no.
People would like hats.
Camilla would not like hats.
So funny. Well, I think that, this community marketing series is going to be an ongoing conversation for us. And you'll continue to hear and see more content from us on this topic because it is so important here in 2026 as people are mapping out their strategies. And any parting words for our audience today, Camilla?
Yeah. So, before diving into any marketing strategy with any medium, any company, any agency, educate yourself. Learn who your audience is. What does this agency medium person has to offer you? Are they promising results? What is their process? What are your intentions, your goals? There's so much. So with this series is exactly to help you be more educated in what an effective marketing strategy is, and for you to have, you know, in the back of your mind or top of your mind, the right question to ask and what to look out for so your business can be successful in this community.
You heard it here.
Yep.
Well, thank you all for listening or watching along with us today. And remember to subscribe to our channel for more conversations to come.
And share this episode. You know, your business people might need new marketing and they don't know what to do. So just help them get informed. That's all we're asking.
Amen, sister. Well, thank you for joining us. We'll see you guys next time.